Welcome to Bare Knuckle Boys. Today's guest is Jack Shady Grady. Congrats on the first professional win, Jack. You're a larger than life character, as we've seen in both your weigh-ins and your fight that you had in New York. You have an interesting public sports career. Jack's done 8 marathons, 10 pro gloved boxing matches, and after your last fight, you have 2 bare knuckle fights under your belt. So how are your hands feeling after all of that?
My hands feel pretty good. The thing that's hurting is my ribs. He caught me early with a few body shots, and I was able to turn it around after my 2 knockdowns, and I was able to knock him down twice and come away with a big victory.
Yeah, for sure, man. Your total underdog story that came true, like in your last fight, you were 11 professional losses and went down multiple times in round 1. But in round 2, you got in there and shocked the world with 2 knockdowns in a very quick succession, and the latter of which decisively ended the match in your favor. So I got to ask, what did it take mentally to get there?
Exactly like you said, I was 0-10-1 as a professional boxer. So I only had 1 draw. It's been a long time since I've won. And I really just had to go back to the basics. I had to work the 1-2. And I knew off the second round, when the bell rang, I needed to bring everything I had because I was hurt. I gave everything to Gabe Sacchetti. He fought tough. He had me in the first round, but I knew if you don't give up, dreams do come true. And that's what I'm all about.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I'm not sure how well versed you are on the history of boxing, but as you probably know, New York has been America's capital of boxing since the early 1800s when European immigrants landed there and brought the sport with semi-formalized rules into the public eye. When you walk into the ring and you're in the same state as so many famous bare knuckle fighters before you, do you feel the weight of that, or is that not even really on your mind when you walk in there?
I do have all the nervous feelings that anybody might have. But as I warm up and as I'm ready to fight, that starts to fade away. And the closer I get to the ring, I remember all the training I've done and the hard work and why I'm really here and what I do it for. I have 2 kids. I'm not getting paid a lot for bare knuckle boxing yet, but I have big dreams and I really want to continue my career. And I really just wanted to show the fans that I'm here to stay. And I sat them down, and all the haters, they kind of shut up a little too. And now I think they know the name Jack Shady Grady.
Yeah, for sure. You've definitely made a name for yourself with that amazing win at the end there. And something else of note in your fighting style, it's so exciting, is the speed of your hands, man. It's ridiculously fast. It's like a whirlwind.
You know, that's what I work on all the time. I work on my speed. I'm a long distance runner in my past. This isn't really new to me. I've had plenty of bare knuckle boxing fights in my younger days. I've been a professional.
It's not for money, right?
Not for money.
Yeah.
I never had a sanctioned fight for money. Besides professional boxing, since 2014, I've been an amateur boxer since 2005. So I've been fighting, my whole life. I've been doing sports, football, cross country, running, weightlifting for years and years. I really feel that I'm at a great spot. My age, I'm 35, and I'm just a dad. I'm just a dad with a dream of making it big, and we're here. We're right here.
Yeah, that's a very admirable position to be in, man. I mean, do your kids have an interest, any kind of martial art or boxing or anything like that? Are you putting them through anything?
I think my kids love it. I think they love for me to hear me talk about it. I talk about it a little too much.
Oh, yeah.
Now my kids are doing Taekwondo.
Okay.
And my son wants his black belt. And my daughter wants to do Taekwondo and she wants to do softball too.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're doing a lot. We did soccer last year. So, we're continuing to learn all these different sports. And like I tell my kids, and like I did, when you sign up for something, you have to continue to put that work in it and do and be who you say you are. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's great to hear. That's such an inspirational story from like a positive father figure.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. I am just a dad, but at the same time, I do like to stand out, and I do like that attention. And I do feel like I have a lot of energy and flair to bring the bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah, there's no
I,
shortage of energy coming from you, Jack.
I don't even know if they're ready for me, bro. I really don't. I just bring a lot to the table, and I feel like I'm here to stay.
When you look at pictures of yourself, can you see that there's like a little bit of like Nicolas Cage coming out of you? Your
There's some
eyes like get so big, man.
there's some type of monster that comes out. But I really want to give like some big credit to where credit should be due. My good friend Peter James Thomas, who is a great trainer. He's been my good friend and training me for a long, long time. And somebody new to the table, his name is Robert Sweeney. He's been nothing but good energy, positive vibes all the way through. He helped me in my corner. I listened to my corner this time. He told me to throw the 1-2, and when Sweeney told me to throw that 1-2, it was right on point, and he went down.
Yeah, he sure did. He fell hard too. Man, he wasn't getting back up from that hit. Well, speaking of the style you got there, from what I've observed in your bare knuckle fights, you're a really aggressive brawler type fighter, at least in BKFC. But were you like that and when you did pro boxing, or were you more of an outside fighter?
Well, when I did pro boxing, the record doesn't really speak the volume on how I was or the type of fighter I was.
Well, how many rounds do you have under your belt as a pro boxer? Do you know your round number?
I went the distance so many times. It has to be over 50 rounds or something like that. So much sparring, so much time pro boxing. I fought the likes of Brandon Lee, Johnny Hitman Hernandez, Jeremy Cuevas. I can name all these names. But it's nothing like taking the gloves off.
Yeah.
But the times I did do glove boxing, it really showed me a lot of the ring generalship and ring experience that I needed crossing over to bare knuckle. And I really feel like bare knuckle more suits my style because I am an aggressive fighter, and my style is kind of just made for no gloves.
Yeah. When you were doing your thing to get picked to be allowed to be on the card in the first place, I guess your tryouts, I should say. What was it that stood out to them the most? Was it the kind of sparring you were doing at the tryouts, or was it more the character and your story? Because I know that a lot of times they want to go after a guy with an interesting story, but do you know like what made them want to give you a shot?
Initially, I knew that I was the loudest guy there. I saw everybody lined up, and I thought, why are we trying out? I've been a pro boxer. I've been in the Golden Gloves a long time ago, and I was there to fight. I've been through a lot in my life. I'm a single dad, and I lost a lot of people in my life. So I have a lot of meaning when I go into fighting. People might not know that. And, when I fight and when I train, I put my life into it. This is a lifestyle. I'm not going there to have fun. I'm going there to do bare knuckle fighting. This isn't.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a game to you when you're walking in there. You're so freaking serious, man.
When it's weigh-in time and when it's fight time, those are definitely two big days for me. This isn't something that the ordinary person could do. Not too many people I feel could walk in my shoes. And I think they're starting to take note of that a little bit.
I mean, when you were walking in there, it looked like you absolutely hated your opponent. But as you said earlier, you don't even know that much about him. So it's all business. I can see that. But it's just the way that you harnessed that raw energy, it seemed like it really worked out in your favor this last time.
It is all business. In my first meeting with Travis Thompson in November 2021, there was some going back and forth on social media, and there was some real beef there. Gabe, I don't really know Gabe too much, but what I do know is when he signed that contract, whether it been a month or two ago, that he should have been known that he was in trouble, because when I signed that contract, I turned it up a notch. And when I seen him at the weigh-in, I saw him smiling, a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
And I wiped the smile right off his face. And, maybe he might think twice about coming back to bare knuckle boxing.
He might.
This
Yeah.
this is no.
I don't know who they'd put him up against. There's a few people he could probably get a second shot with. But yeah, he's maybe one day he'll have a rematch with you if he can ever build up a good record.
You never say never, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, so I wanted to bring it back a little bit. I'm currently 22 years old and you're 35 years old. But I'm wondering, what was Jack Shady Grady up to when you were my age? And how has your mindset changed since then? Like, what is the most important life lesson you've learned in that time span between our two ages?
Well, I started professional boxing at 18, and that seems like a long time ago, but it really isn't that long ago. I learned a lot. I learned it was a good idea for me to stay in school while I was continuing my professional career. I have a bachelor's degree in human services from Hilbert College. And I just think if you continue fighting, you need a good backup plan, and you need something after fighting. And I'm at a good stage in my life, but fighting has always been hard for me. Fighting hasn't really treated me too good, but I'm starting to put my foot back in the door a little bit. I push the door open a little bit with my energy and my attitude. I feel like the sky's the limit, and I just need to continue the winning streak. I know I'm only 1-1, but I'm not 0-10-1 like I was in professional boxing. So BKFC shows me a lot of love when nobody else showed me a lot of love. Some doors were closed on me, but they opened that door to me. And, I gotta give a lot of credit, to David Feldman and Nate Shook, who gave me all those opportunities.
Right. For sure, man. For sure. Did you get to bet on yourself? Because I know you're not allowed to bet against yourself for obvious reasons, but fighters are allowed to bet on themselves. Did you bet on yourself? Because you probably would have made a killing there.
No, I didn't. I always tell people anything can happen in fighting. I said, you can bet on me. I would put my money on me, but no, I didn't bet on myself either. Maybe I should start that. But
yeah, because that could be another on top of everything else that you got going on. It could be another motivation to make you fight.
Exactly. I just say they're focused on the fight, and I just let the hands fly.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to reiterate, what is like one life lesson that you've learned in the time span between when you were 22 years old and when you are now 35? Like, what's the most important life lesson you learned?
Do not give up on your dream, whatever it is. Because if I can do it, anybody can do it. I ran all these marathons. I've done all these things that I said I would do. And if you believe in yourself, you could do anything like that.
Well, those are some wise words. I like hearing that, man. So what are some of the formative events in your life that made you the man you are today? I mean, probably the obvious answer is your kids, right? But is there that and something else, or give me an insight into that?
I definitely fight for my kids. They are number one. I got custody of my kid. Excuse me. I got custody of my kids a few years ago, and I'm a single dad, so I do a lot. But I lost my dad to brain cancer in 2000, and I lost my aunts and my uncles along the way. Timothy, Dennis, Jackie, who was the original Shady Grady. And I lost a close friend along the way too, who was only 29 years old. So I do have a lot of built up frustration and anger, I feel, and fighting has always been there for me. It's kept me out of jail, kind of stress-free. I'm alive, I'm happy, I'm healthy, my kids are healthy, and I'm continuing to be successful. And this win means a lot to me in 2022.
Yeah. 2022 is the start of a new you, right?
Start of a new year, a start of the new Shady Grady.
All right. Yeah. That's exciting to hear.
I have no sponsors right now.
Oh, really?
If you believe that, I'm looking for sponsors, and whoever supports me, I will support too.
Okay. All right. You guys heard it here. Shady Grady's looking for sponsors. He'll support you if you support him.
Definitely.
Just to end it on another note here, you had some guests you wanted to bring in. So let's meet your guests that you wanted to have on the show here.
And my special guests of the evening are Scarlett Grady. Say hi, Scarlett.
Hi, Scarlett.
Hi.
I love your
Scarlett's-
hair.
Scarlett, stop. Stand up, come on.
Is Scarlett the softball champ?
Scarlett's a softball champ. Here's my man. Here's my big man.
Nice.
Jackson.
It's the little
Hi,
taekwondo guy, right?
This is my man. My kids are 364 days apart. This is why I do fighting, guys. I do it for these kids right here, bro.
Wow, they're really close in age. You guys all close?
Yeah.
We're all really
Yeah.
tight.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's great to have a reason to fight, and those kids.
Tell
Look,
them your birthday is.
April 17th.
April 17th and April 16th. All right.
Nice.
They're a little shy. They're a little shy.
so cute. It's great to
All right,
have
guys.
them on.
Say peace.
Yo, peace. I want to thank you very much, Shady, for coming on to the show. And it's very interesting to get a little insight into your life and meet your family and learn a little bit more about you. You're a very interesting fighter, and I'm super excited to see where your career is going, man.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Shady Grady. Let's go.
Waiting for hardcore.